Kelly Early, I think we have the internet fairies on our side.
Does it get better than that?
Oh, this is so cool to be here. And we don't want to start the full-on chat just yet. We'll give people a little bit of time to gather, even though with all of this GDP, I'm missing a letter, I know, but but all of that security stuff, for some reason, this week, Be Live TV, we can't actually see people's names. We should still be able to see their comments, etc. But we can't see their names, which is a bit sad because it's always lovely to be able to say hello as gorgeous people come on. But anyway, they are working with Facebook to change that. So what will it take?
I wonder. Maybe people can say, hey guys, it's Mary. Or, where are you guys, the viewers, where are you guys joining us from today? I know you're in Bali, Delany.
I'm in Bali.
UK.
Oh, I love it. Someone's gone, hello, beautiful. 2 from Norway.
Yeah.
Hey, ladies. Nice. Thank you very much. And I was just saying to Kelly that I'm very grateful for her coming on. And Corey was the first one who I will be getting back on again too, because I didn't ask her way enough questions. And this is really exciting because it's one of those things where I have been putting off doing it, the Delany show, for a really long time. And it may be humble beginnings, as in, technology-wise and everything, but it's begun.
Yeah.
It's begun. And so today we have the most beautiful Kelly Early. Thank you.
Hi, thanks for having me.
A round of applause.
I'll take it back. Can I just say something of you? We were talking before about, not waiting anymore and you starting this from humble beginnings. Man, how many times do we all we need to do is plant that seed? And, from little seeds, great oak trees grow, as their saying goes, and if we wait to plant the freaking seed, nothing ever grows from it. I wonder how many, just when you were saying that then, I was like, wow, how many creations, how many possibilities, how many freaking awesome, magical things do we negate? Because we go, oh, this has got to be perfect, or I've got to have this down, or I've got to have the best backdrop, or I've got to, have my website perfect, or I've got to, whatever all that crap is.
Yeah. Totally. And can we let it go?
Yeah, exactly. None of it's real anyway.
No, exactly. That's the whole thing. And when you start to look at, there is so much information around consciousness and everything out there. And I know recently I've watched some stuff on multi-dimensional realities, that the premise that we exist simultaneously in more than one dimension.
God, I watched something like that this morning. Jesus.
Right.
How weird.
So there you go. And we're going to worry about whether we've got the right thing going on, or whether we've got enough money, or whether we've got the right education, or whether we've got the best lighting, or whatever it is. And I've been such an expert on that. And so this show is about bringing people on who are different, who've begun at least to acknowledge their difference. And with you, Kelly, I am always inspired by your courage, your willingness to be you and raw.
Thank you.
Hang on, I've got a message from Corey. Hi, it's Corey. Click the hide button on the Believe to remove it from your screen. Hide button. Corey, where do I find the hide button? I want to find the hide button. I'm scared if I press. It's the bottom. It's the bottom. Bottom of what? Sorry, people. Bit of techo. Someone who knows what they're doing is online.
Don't you love that? How does it get better?
Oh, I love it. Corey Michelle.
Thanks, Corey.
I know you do. You know, like, man, talk about have your back. Okay, the bottom. I don't know, Corey. What does that mean? That didn't remove it. I pressed something, but it didn't remove it. That didn't remove it. That made us really big. Damn, Corey, I can't see where to actually remove it. Oh, hang on. Right. Got it. Thank you.
Yay!
Yay! That really big red button saying hide.
The one that was hiding from you.
All right, so let's get back to it. You, creation, vulnerability. You know, like you are just so willing to go where so many people are not willing to go. And so when we're talking, I mean, I loved it when I said to you about acoustic vibration and you said, I don't know what it is, but it lights me up.
Yeah.
You know, as I see you operate with that so much, you know, because that is that space when we stop the head trip and everything and there's peace and we're actually going to follow what we know and follow the energy. So, Miss Kelly Early, tell me, do. What's different about you that you know is different about you?
Oh my God, that's a leading question.
I know.
For me, and this is really starting to show up more and more and more when I acknowledge it, for starters, but there's always been in my life kind of this magical stuff used to just show up. And I didn't even go to the space of, oh, wow, I've created that. I was like, oh, you know, I've got some weird, it was like I was a magnet to things, which was just, you know, kind of fun and made for, a lot of fun. It was really cool. But the last, I would say probably the last year, especially the last few months, I've really, really been aware about how amazing my body is, like beyond words amazing. And you, Delany, you know, I don't know whether the viewers know, but I've had some stuff go on with my body. So stuff that I've created in my body, I've wanted to jump on out of this life quite a few times. And my body just is so potent and so, I'm going to say demanding. And I really wasn't listening to her at all. It was like, you and I have talked about this before. It was so much force with my body, so much force. I was forcing her to do things. I used to be a ballet dancer. You know, all of that was just all about force. There's been a lot of, we haven't had the communion throughout my life that I now have with my body. And it was like being hit around the head by a piece of 2x4, that she was whispering for a few years first, and then she was like really yelling at me, like, I really want you to get this. And then I've recently had this major surgery. I now have an ileostomy, so I have a stoma. So like I poop out of my stomach into a bag. And it has been choosing that, you know, for everybody else, they were like, why are you choosing that surgery? Like, that's pretty hardcore. That's permanent. That's for the rest of your life. Like, you know, take this medication, you know, have this, have that. Choosing that surgery for me was, I can't even, maybe you're getting the energy of it. I can't even explain the life-changing moment of me just making that choice. And then literally everything just went into place with me and my body. It was, unbelievable magic. And really when I started acknowledging that, so much more has started to really show up and get created in my life, because I'm now co-creating with my body. I'm not doing everything against her. I'm not using that force. I'm not, you know, getting to the place of going, I don't know what my body's saying. You know, it's all going horribly wrong. I can't, you know, I don't get what she's saying to me. You know, we go into that space sometimes of like, I don't understand my body. Yeah, and I just was trying to understand it instead of actually create with her.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that, like, knowing you and watching what you created from making that choice, watching the change, you know, and the engagement with living that went on is just so inspiring. And it's such an invitation, you know, like, and also that willingness that you have to just be out front with it as well. The information that you're willing to share with people, the just absolutely amazing way of, like, those photo shoots, photos, gorgeous. You go buying swimsuits, you know, like this, because you have this gorgeous body as well. And so not hiding it away, oh, I've gone and I've had this surgery and I'm doing this, so now I'm hiding. You have gone the 180 degrees and gone, no way, I am not in hiding. In fact, I'm actually going to come out even more.
And that's actually been the huge gift of this as well. It was, I used to really hide myself. I mean, I know people think I'm very outspoken and a bit upfront and a bit in your face, etc. But I used to actually, no, exactly. Watch out. I used to actually like hide underneath that. There was always an unwillingness to actually be all of me. It was more like a facade, really. And having this surgery, and again, you know, people were really like, why are you doing this? I was like, well, I'm doing it, choosing it. That's what my body's saying, you know. And I just really got the energy of, okay, if I choose this, what will my life be like? I was like, okay. So being engaged with life, I loved it when you said that. Yeah, it was that, basically. So it's like, hey, cool, this is me. I have this. Like, this is what's going on with my body. I have a kick-ass beautiful body, and I have this as well, and it's kick-ass beautiful. Like, I call my stoma Rosie. I talk to her all the time. She gives me awareness about everything. It's amazing when you actually start sitting down. It's crazy, sitting down and really chatting away to your body. It's so much fun.
So can you tell people, like, what are some of the things that your body does tell you?
She gives me an awareness about what to eat. And then if I go against that, she'll be like, it's okay, but this is going to get created. Like, especially with a stoma too, you know, you have to make sure that your hydration, like you're always hydrated, and eat certain foods. And so my diet isn't what, the prescribed diet for having a stoma is. And this is where it's been so much fun, where, you know, actually listening to what my body is asking for. So, you know, the doctors may say, okay, well, you can have this, 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 and this. You definitely cannot have that, underlined. And my body goes, oh, I want that. I'm like, really? Okay. And the willingness, I'm so willing to go, okay, cool, let's do this. Let's try it. And I'll eat it, and it tastes freaking amazing. And, you know, everything is fantastic in my body, and my whole body lights up. So the same thing with the clothes that I'm choosing now as well. You know, I used to always have this, you know, I'm a size 8 long legs. People have always either loved looking at my body or been jealous of it. Like, there's been all those kind of energies. And I used to really hide my body away. You know, I'd created this gorgeous body, and I was like, I don't want to be seen. I don't, you know, like, put on a big jumper and, you know, trousers and whatever. And now I'm like, okay, cool, I got a stoma. What can I wear today? Body, what do you want to wear? You want to wear little shorts? All right, let's do it. so, you know, kind of that space, and I feel so much sexier and sassier and me with it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's crazy. You know, when you actually put it on paper, okay, you've got this stoma for the rest of your life. Like it's I had somebody the other day say to me, so what do you do now you're disabled? I was like, sorry? What do you mean? It's so interesting, like the points of view that people have about, you know, what I can be, choose, create, have, wear, look like, you know, with this new body that I have. It's so interesting. Yeah.
That, I mean, that is a total gift. And it just shows you when you're willing to actually move outside the parameters of what we're told is possible and what's normal.
Yeah.
And when you're willing to actually go a different route and actually communicate with your body and develop a relationship with your body, that communion, which is really, that's what all the acoustical vibration stuff is about. It's about being in communion with you, your body, the planet, because we're just so much bigger than what we've ever been led to believe until very recent times, in Western society anyway, you know. And so that gift that is there when we're willing to do it, and the gift that I see you creating now. So my next question for you is, what has opened up since then? Like, you know, what has opened up? Because I mean, I'm seeing it opening up with you crazily, wonderfully crazy.
Yeah, a lot. So my energetic superpowers have exploded. Like I acknowledged that I had energetic capacities before, like with other bodies. My body is now on fire with that. It's almost like literally after the surgery, everything just went, whoosh. Even to the point that, you know, I was in the hospital for 6 days and came out of the hospital, went home, and my body was pretty fragile for a while. And when I say a while, my body is so super fast now. And she was fast before, but it's like supersonic fast now. So I digest food within less than 2 hours. She's almost like, I don't require food. It's fine. I went to see the nurses in the hospital as an outpatient 2.5 weeks after my appointment. And they all said to me, who are you? Like even though they'd seen me 2.5 weeks before in the hospital. And then they were like, you shouldn't actually be looking this good, this soon after your surgery. I've created, I was in a fantastic relationship just before surgery anyway. That has, so funny how your body chooses people, right? My body chose a guy who basically doesn't have any issues whatsoever with me having a stoma, with everything that was around all of that. The sex has got better and better and better since having this surgery. Yeah. And again, people say, oh, no, it's going to be terrible. And, they have all these points of view about what that is and what it should look like once you've had, a certain surgery. Yeah, that's got better and better with my guy. So how does it get better than that? And what else? I'm going to New York.
New York.
I know, which has been a target of mine for, I don't know, about 4 years. And there's an Art of Living Crazy Possible class in New York. And I was just like, I'm going to that. This is a year ago. When I was in Rome, I was like, yeah, I'm going to that class. I don't care what it takes. Didn't really think anything else about it. And then you and I had a conversation. I was trying to book flights last weekend. You and I had a conversation because I was really in the headspace of, force. I went back to the space of force for about 3 hours and nothing was working. The flights weren't booking. It was just my computer kept crashing. So we talked about having gentleness. And then I've been asking about having calmness with everything. And it's been like, ah. And since then, I created a house sit with two beautiful little dogs in a, where is it? In a doorman apartment in Manhattan for the dates that required, and they wanted me. So that's awesome. And I just saw this morning on the email that I received literally before this that the flight prices have dropped from London to New York.
last minute, of course.
I know. How does it get better than that? So really what I wanted to say with that is like taking away the force. And the whole body, even as I'm saying, it's like, okay. And then the magic is literally there, like just to be plucked out. It's almost like the force, you know, you've got all this stuff up in front of it.
Yeah.
And then when you let all that just, and you go, oh, that, okay, I'll have that. And the universe goes, there you go, honey.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
The magic of it is astounding. And you know, that thing of the gentleness and of the lack of force and that space where you just let it go, because that's really what you did as well, wasn't it? It was letting it go, and it didn't matter.
Totally. Yeah. When after we'd had that conversation, and you literally sent me a 2-word, you know, I think you said be gentle, and I was like, oh, that okay. And yeah, letting that go, stepping into that space of gentleness. And I actually said, okay, if I don't go, okay, that's cool. And I, literally let everything go. It was like melting. Mm-hmm. It's like, okay, got on with my day. Next day, this house sit comes up. I think, oh yeah, I'll apply for that. It was really light. I applied for it. 3 days later, they had something like 40 applicants. They sent me an email saying, we really want you. We know that you're not in the country, but we really want you.
Yeah.
How does it get better than that?
How does it get better than that? And I love that ease with which it can be when you get out of the way and and allow, you know, because we're here and we're these amazing beings, and we know that to some degree, most of us, you know, we know that we're a contribution. We know that we're creating really different things for so many of us, like thousands and thousands and hundreds of thousands across the planet, you know, or millions. And yet we still try and figure it out and go through that process that makes it so it is a push and a trying to prove, right, I've got this, I've got it, and making things so hard when if we just keep going. And I loved it, like Manji, a friend of both of ours, was saying to me, you know, something changed for her, and it was like, I just need just one more step. Just keep going. Yeah. Just keep going that one more step. And whatever it takes to actually have it with peace. And that doesn't mean that there aren't going to be times when you're working your little tush off.
Absolutely. You know, take action. Yeah.
You know, so do you want to talk a little bit about that? Because it's really easy to get very ethereal about it all and the energy and all of that. And yet there are some links here. There are some pragmatic things that need to go on.
Absolutely. Action. You got to take action. And I think as well, like, you know, when you sit in that space of, or some people, and I have done it in the past, where you sit there and you're like, okay, well, this is this is what I'd like, universe. I'm just going to sit back while you create it for me, and it'll show up. And I mean, don't get me wrong, sometimes it does, but we're required to take action. You know, like, what are the steps that are required for me to actually have that? And when you're co-creating with the universe and your body and every single freaking molecule on, you know, of everything, because everything's energy, actually asking for, okay, body, show me what next, who to speak to, where to go, what website to look on. I sometimes get that, you just put a search in and then my body will go, okay, yeah, look at that website. And then something will come from there, or someone will say something to me, or, it's not about being, I want to say it's not about being passive. It's actually about co-creation and being involved in your life.
Absolutely. Participation, 100%.
That's the one. Yeah.
That's that engagement we talked about at the beginning, that engagement in living.
And they say about, participation without perspiration, that's just popped into my head. Like, it doesn't, the perspiration force, like, you don't have to sweat about it. Yeah. Like, you can have the participation, work with the universe, work with your body, work with the molecules, be the energy that you be that creates freaking miracles. Whether that is something that we perceive as being really tiny or something that we perceive as being something huge and life-changing, every single thing is a miracle. You waking up this morning is a miracle.
Yeah.
How much joy do we negate when we just kind of wake up in the morning and go, oh, fucking hell, it's Monday, or, whatever that is. I got up this morning and I hugged the wall because I was just like, oh my God, this wall is such a contribution. I know I'm a little crazy sometimes, but it was just that,
isn't it?
that exuberance of, oh my God, I had such a good night's sleep. Thank you, room. Yeah.
Like, that power of gratitude is it's spoken about a lot now, in corporate world, in everywhere. But you just cannot deny it and minimize it. Like, that gratitude, that energy of gratitude will take things from being crappy to not being crappy anymore. It will take you from the poverty line to wealth.
Yeah.
And a wealth in every area, not just your wallet, but will also actually contribute to that as well. Yeah. Gratitude, because that's that space. I remember hearing the first time, like, gratitude and judgment can't coexist when you're in true gratitude. And that was a total revelation for me, and has been a journey ever since of being more gratitude.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing too, is there's always more.
And there's always something to be grateful for and about as well. Just look at your hands, for example. How amazing are your hands? If you think, God, I've got nothing to be grateful for right now, just look at your hands and everything that they do for you and with you. Start there and start in the small places. I think that people think, God, gratitude, I've got to write a list of all the things that, I'm grateful for, or then they kind of make it, again, this false energy can come into it. Like, okay, cool, just pick one thing right now that you can have a look in the room and say, wow, I'm really grateful for that bed. I had such a great night's sleep last night. I love that. When I started to really get grateful for me and for my body, and actually, just with you saying about wealth and money before, actually getting grateful about what money creates for me and my body as well. Yeah. So whether it is a set of sheets that is, that makes my body feel like, oh my God, that's so amazing, or a lovely smoothie or something. It doesn't have to be anything expensive.
Yes.
I bought I put a post on Facebook about it. I bought a Ted Baker silk dress in a charity shop for £4. My body found it, and it literally feels like melted butter on my skin. It didn't have to be expensive, but the co-creation of that with my body and the gratitude, when I put it on, it was like, oh, that. Yeah. So
and cool. That is it.
Yeah, the big sigh. Yeah.
About everything.
Yes,
exactly. Getting the energy. That.
Yeah. And
then you know.
even when stuff looks like it's totally and utterly fucked, you know, and you go to that space of like literally what the frig is going on here. You know, what thing can you find? Even if it's one tiny, teeny thing, what can you find to be grateful for in that moment? You know, it could be, wow, okay, things aren't showing up how I thought they were going to. You know, what else can I create here? Okay, I could go speak to this person, or I'm really grateful for the space that I have with that person, that they can listen to me moan for 10 minutes and then kick me around the head afterwards, you know.
Yeah. Oh, my dear. I am so grateful for you. I am so grateful for what you're choosing, what you create in the world, and the gift that you are.
Thank
You know, your Facebook group, Pleasurable Me, is such a joy and such a contribution to so many people. And you know, I was looking in it today, and you know, some of the stuff that people ask for contribution with, some of the things that people talk about in that group that takes vulnerability, you know, like what you're creating there is such a gift, just as you are, my dear.
Thank you. I'm so grateful for you. Thank you.
And that is I'm going to end the broadcast here. Thank you all for watching whenever it is that you see this. And thank you again, Kalioli. I adore you.
Back at you, baby.
And just finding the right button.